Sorry. So let's pick it up. You guys have measure number letters, right? Before P, 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. Here we go. 4 before P. Great. Let's do that again. Make sure we all get to those big quarter notes. Bam, bam, together. Same spot. Great. Now, how are we going to play those quarter notes? How do you play those quarter notes? Are you playing them the same length? Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to ask questions. You answer. With me? Yeah. Good, you passed that test. Are they the same length? No. Okay, here we go. Here's just beats 2 and 3. This is the bar before P. Beats 2 and 3. Ready? And 1. Is that the same length as one another? Here we go. Ready? And 1. Now, how are we supposed to articulate those? What does that little sideways accent mean to you? I ask questions. You answer. Heavier on the front side, yes. What else do we have to do? Are they full value or is there space between them? Slightly separated. Is there decay on each one, or are they slightly separated like bricks of sound? Ba, ba, or is it bam, bam? See, I ask the questions, you provide the answers. What do you think it is? Do you want bricks of sounds, or do you want little slight decays? Slight decay. Can we just try it that way? Just those two notes. Slight separation, slight decay, like bell tones. Ready? And 1. Do it one more time. Make sure we got it. Ready? And 1. Make sure you're on the right pitch. This is 2 quarter notes before letter P. Ready? And 1. How'd that sound? Better than the last time? Yeah. Do you like it that way? Does anybody have strong feelings about full value? Bam, bam. Nope? Okay, great. Now, can we start 4 bars before P? And when we get there, make it sound just like that. 4 before P. Ready? Good. Yeah, that was better. Now, you did one other thing naturally that made that even better than it was before. Does anybody know what you did differently that time when we put it back into context? The crescendo was really good. What about right before the quarter notes? Everybody, it felt like some of you breathed, or there was a separation between beat 1 and the quarter notes on beats 2 and 3. And it didn't just kind of flood one into the other, which clarified that arrival point greatly. So good for you. Those are great instincts. So can we do that one more time? And now that you're a little bit more cognizant of that, see if we can clarify it even more. So here's 4 before P again. Great. Now look at the last bar. How is this articulated? Are you playing it the same? Would I ask the question if you were? Probably not. Can we just do the last bar? I'll give you 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So some of you play in jazz ensembles. Yes. And some of you, all of you, know that this is very jazz-influenced music. And some of you that are playing in jazz ensembles are doing some things that are jazz ensemble cool, but aren't necessarily marked in the parts. Others of you don't play in jazz ensembles, and you're playing the part exactly as it's marked on the page. And those two things don't necessarily jive. So are we going with what's on the page, or are we going with something that's kind of appropriate jazz ensemble-wise? What do you think? Can I hear the people that have the slur or the tie, the slur between the last two notes? Just the people that have the slur marked. 1, 2, go. Again, 1, 2, and. Great. Where is the emphasis? Obviously, the last note's going to be big. I hear some of you emphasizing the penultimate note even more than the last note. Is that what you want to have happen? Beady beam bayam or beady beam bayam. Which do you like? Second one? Can we try it again? 1, 2, and. Is it together? 1, 2. Good. That was better. Terrific. Now can I hear the people that do not have the slur? 1, 2, and. This is the people that do not have the slur. All right? 1, 2, and. Yeah, I still hear some people going ti-di-teen, tie-am. And that's not what you have marked on the page, is it? No. Here we go. 1, 2, and. Yeah, you hear the difference? Huge, humongous. Do it again. 1, 2, and. Yeah, yada dan dan dan. Now, here's the thing about accented notes or staccato notes. If we're going to play, especially staccato notes, but it applies a little bit to some degree on marcato notes, also the sideways accent notes, in order for there to be a really aggressive front end of a note, you have to have a break before that note. So if you let the note prior to that accented note touch the accented note, you can't accent the note. Does that make sense? So yada da yadam, da da dan da dam. You got to put a little bit of a lift there, a little bit of a gap, so you can really put the accent where it's marked. Staccato notes are short, they're detached, right? The word actually means detached, which means on both sides of the note. So if you're playing music that has a staccato note, that means you have to stop the sound of the previous note early, so there's a detachment from that note between it and the staccato note, and then after the staccato note as well. So don't think about articulation just about the front side or the back side. It's the whole thing all wrapped up together. Now, can we put those two parts together? This is just the last bar. Again, ready? And. Yeah, now sustain the last chord. Very last note, mezzo forte. Is everybody playing the right pitch? Make sure you are. Can I hear just the G's? All G concerts. In tune or out of tune? That is out of tune. Who makes the adjustment here? Who is staying put and who is adjusting? The higher parts are adjusting. Correctamundo. Here we go. G concerts. Of course, the lower parts need to adjust to one another. Saxophones, low reeds, who are you adjusting to? Or are you expecting people to adjust to you? Yeah, exactly right. So tubas. I know you guys just worked on this. Can I hear your G's? Anybody in here have perfect pitch by any chance? Can I hear a G in the marimba? All low G's. Are the saxophones higher or lower than the tubas? You got it? Okay, here we go. Do it again. Are the trombones and euphoniums higher or lower than the tubas? Do it again. Listen to it. Just tubas. Just saxophones. Do you guys have a first chair person? You? Lay it in there. Good. We hit a problem. Nothing personal. Again. Is that better? You can never accept anything less than that. You can never accept anything less than that. Your standard is now set at that level, and that's the most out of tune you're allowed to play. The only people that are going to police that, well, that's not true. The most important people that are going to police that are yourselves. You're going to get policed from people up on the podium and adjudicators and la 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 la, but they're not as important as you guys are. So your standard has to be that high. And if it's not that good, you've got to talk to each other and go, hey, man, can you tell if I'm sharp or flat? And you got to work together on this stuff. That's how every professional organization gets better. Sometimes they get better because they yell at each other, but that's not very effective. Tubas. Saxophones. Euphoniums. Trombones. We hit a problem. Trombones, one at a time. Higher or lower? Higher or lower? Lower. Play it again. Keep going. Play the G's. More in, more in. There it is. That big of a difference. Yeah. So you use your ears, trust your ears. Trombones, it's a double-edged sword. Technically, you could never be allowed to play out of tune because you have a tuning slide in your right hand, and you can make minute adjustments. The tuning slide on the back of the horn is helpful also, but this, fine-tuning. Here we go. G's, tubas. Up before. Is that better? Hey, now we're starting to cook with gas. That's good. We're setting a new standard. It's like we're hitting reset on a calibration machine. I feel like your calibration machine has been allowed to be we're kind of close. It's good. Good job. It's not good enough. Here we go. Everybody, last note. There is some dissonance here, but there's also a major chord buried in the middle. Great. Now, what like I said, there's that, as John Mackey likes to call them, crunchy notes in there, which are cool. But can we hear the G major chord? What notes are in the G major chord? G, B, D. If you have one of those concert pitches on the last chord, would you play? Yeah, here's all the G's. There you go. I hear people searching. That's good. And this is a thing that band directors don't like to spend too much time doing in rehearsal because it's like, oh my gosh, we got to get to this, blah, 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 and we got this. But this is a really important part of the process, is allowing you the opportunity to kind of search and destroy or search and succeed. Here we go. All G's. Then I'm going to ask for all the D concerts. So G's, then D concerts. Here's G. D's. Bob. Yeah. Do you guys know what concert pitches are? What's a D concert on your instrument? That's a rhetorical question. If you need to talk to your colleagues, what is that? Is that D concert? That's an E, right? For clarinets? Here we go. All D concerts. Play now. All D concerts. G's. There's only one D, really? Everybody sing that note. La. Sing a B, the third of the chord. Sing a D. Are you playing that note on the last chord? La. Okay, everybody play the last note. And. Good. All the B concerts. How many people have B concerts? Great, here we are. And. In tune or out of tune? Way out. All right. Now, can you give us a reference roll on that vibe again? Great, thank you. When you play, I want you to listen for the lowest octave instrument that's playing that note. Here we go. All B concerts. All B concerts. Okay, who's playing the lowest octave? Besides the vibe. Trumpets, horns. Let me hear you guys. Which is lower? Trumpet's going to be a lot more prominent sound, and it's got a lower timbre to it. Oboe has the same note, right? Great. All B's. Good. It's getting better. Now, the other thing that's really important, there's several things that you need to know about listening, right? You listen down to the lowest octave. That's number one. Everybody point toward principal player on your part, your instrument. Listen in that direction. Match the person on that side of you. Now, people in the front of the ensemble, can the people in the back hear you very well? No, especially when it's loud like this. They have no chance. So the people in the front of the ensemble need to listen backward to match the pitches that are coming from the back of the ensemble. And that's going to help match. So if you're a principal player, your job is really, really important. Your responsibility factor is super high. If you're a low reed or a low brass player, same deal. You've got to be super consistent. And if you're playing in the back of the ensemble, you cannot allow your pitch to drift sharp, which is the most common thing that have happen. Here we go. Everybody's in. Last note. And. Great. Now, those of you that are playing the major third above the G, those B concerts, you guys know about tuning major chords? What do you do to the third? It needs to be slightly flat. How far flat? Anyone? Add 10 to that and you're in the ballpark. Everybody knows what cents are, right? That's what pitch is measured in. 13.7. The third needs to be 13.7%, 7%. Start again. 13.7 cents flat for it to be in tune, to sound in tune. Now, if we had the D in there and a major chord, the fifth also needs to be slightly high, but that's a different conversation. Here we go. Last note, those B concerts need to be slightly flat. And. Yeah, flutes. Can I just hear you guys on these lovely G's? I'm going to stand back here. Ready? And. Yeah. How are we set up? First chair, second chair is where? Okay, great. And. Higher or lower than the tubas? Go ahead. Higher or lower? I'm not talking about the range of the instrument. I'm talking about the pitch. The pitch is low, right. Tubas again. We're going to go to the next person. Good. High or low? Yep, right. Great. That's a common tendency on that note. Here we go. Tubas again. All the G's. Don't be under. Yeah. This is somewhat painful, but it's really important. And don't feel bad about the fact that it's somewhat painful. It's a part of the process. We've got to be able to do this. Here we go. Flutes. Better? Hey, thank you. Everybody, last note. Here we go. Last note. Put it right where you just had it. Yeah, if we can get those B's a little bit lower, we're going to be doing great. Everybody, this is the last. Zup, up, bup, bup. Letter P to the end. P. Yeah, so we're going to get minor, 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 ba, and then we got that major third there at the end. It's really important to have that come out. What are the dynamics 3 bars after P? Fortissimo, exactly right. What is the stylistic marking on the downbeat of P? Staccato, yes? So it's not dee da, bim bum, bim bum, bim bum, bim bum. Here we go. P. 1, 2. How's that sound? Way better. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Okay. Look at your page. Look at your music. Look at the ink on the page. If your band director has to stop and ask you to do something that is written in black and white on the page, it's equivalent to an English teacher saying, pronounce T-H-E. Do you know how to pronounce T-H-E? Do you know how to play short? Do you know how to play legato? Do you know how to play marcato? Your job is to be able to be fluent in the musical language, just like your job is to be fluent in the English language and to be able to read it and speak it. So you can't, no, that's a double negative. You have to speak the language, and the language is in the black and white there. That's the basic language. That is the, that is to, that is and, that is the basics. Now the language, really the magic of the language comes from everything that's not there in black and white that we as artists create, and the paints that we use to make the music come alive. That is where the magic is. So make sure that when you come to rehearsal, you know what pitch, key signatures, accidentals, accents, marcatos, dynamics, all that is there for you, just like all the words of a Shakespearean play that you can read perfectly. Then we add the magic to the music. Now, can we go back, careful, to, where did you guys start? G. Let's go all the way back to letter G. Here we go. With the pickup. 1, 2. Okay. How did that bomb feel? Weak. Here we go again. 1, 2. Yeah. Here we go. Just one quarter note pickup. Everybody else come in on the downbeat. Yeah. Tubas, make sure we're moving together here. One more time. G. 1, 2. All right, great. So how are we doing on the black and white there, starting about the fourth measure after G? What should we be doing more of? Horns? Okay, what else? Yes. Even if there weren't, pretend that John Mackey didn't write any crescendo there, or any indication to crescendo, and you just listen to the notes that he gave you, you would be able to hear how they get more intense, right? And that implies crescendo. Plus he gave us, well, crescendo. So you got to take both those things into consideration. Here we go. G again. It goes all the way up to forte. 1, 2. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Can I just hear the horns? This is the fourth bar after G. 1, 2, and. Great. Who's first and to fourth out here? Great. Can I just hear everybody's first note? And. Yeah, so we got F, A, and B, right? B flat. Here's the F. A's. Make sure everybody's on the right partial. Are there 2 fourths or 1 fourth? Both fourths? Okay, here's both of the F's. The fourth horn has the F, right? On the. Ay, 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 my eyes are getting worse. So 5 after F. Yeah, so that's where I am. Ding, dun, dum, ding, dun, dum. So the fourth horn should have F, the third horn should have A, the second horn should have A, the first horn should have B flat. Yeah? Great. Here we go. Here are the F's. That's a misprint. Would you guys mark that an F?
Yeah, 3's on the F.
Oh, no. Well, that doesn't matter. As long as somebody's on the F.
3's on the F.
Okay, that's not clearing the score at all. Okay, here's the F. Whoever is playing the F, play it. And then the A's. And then the B flat. Yeah, crunchy. John likes crunchy. Here we go. Separate. Bam, bam, bam. 1, 2, and. Yeah, good. When we change pitches, we've got to make sure we're all getting to the right pitches there. So here's the end of the second bar when you guys change pitches. So the F's, the G's, and the G's and the A's. I'm not sure who's got which part. You know what I'm talking about? So the middle, the last half of the 3 bars before the 5/8. Here's the bottom note, the F. And then the G and the A. Great. Now go to the next measure. So we've got E flat, A, and B flat, right? Here's the E flat. E natural, sorry. That was the same as the F. So this is the next measure, 2 bars before the 5/8. There's an E on the bottom. There it is. Yeah. And then the Fs, sustain the E. And then the A's. And then the B flat. There you go, great. And then the measure before the 5/8, E flat, G, and A. Here's the E flat. Bum, bum. That's it. Bum, the E flat, E natural, the G. Yeah, here's the E. G's. There you go. Great. So you got to have those pitches really firmly in your ear. I know you guys know this, but everybody that doesn't play the horn, their partials are this close together. And it's really easy for just people to be one partial off there. Can we put that in context? Play your first note together. Make sure you got the right partial. Here we go. 1, 2, go. Yeah, so make sure when we're going down from the F, we get down to the F to the E at the right time. That's the only thing that's a little bit in question. And the same thing between the A and the G. All right, let's put this context. We're going to take a little break here in just a second. Here's everybody back to G. Nice build up to forte and then into the 5/8. 1, 2, up, ready? With pickup. 1, 2. Keep going. Good. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go talk to the banddirector.com people. You want to do something or maybe take a break or you can work on that. I'll be right back. You're doing great. You bet.
All right, so we're out here with Rob Carnochan, who's been working with Central Bucks South on John Mackey's Strange Humors, and got a lot done there in a short amount of time, or at least a lot of things addressed.
Yeah.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
I liked what you had said there about you likened it to an English teacher, and you have the responsibility to be able to understand the language and to read the language and that sort of thing. If you want to address that.
Well, it's just so often, and it happens at all levels. It's not just high school or junior high school. We somehow think that it's okay to stop and talk about things that are there in black and white that the students hopefully pay attention to. And that, that's on us. We've got to make sure that we're living up to the responsibility of teaching them the printed language that is going to save us all an immense amount of time in rehearsals if we don't have to stop and talk about that kind of stuff. So,
and it happens, speaking as an adult who plays in a band, we have moments and we just beam up and miss those things.
Oh, piano, right, yeah, soft, okay,
exactly.
got that, right.
So, and the other thing that really struck me about that session just now was you were really getting them to listen, to really kind of tune in and listen to each other for that pitch and to get those things to lock in a little bit.
Yeah, that's been a constant theme. Well, I think it's a constant theme in every ensemble, whether it's the New York Philharmonic or one of these high school bands that's here this weekend. Everybody needs to know how important their ability to listen is, and also they've got to learn how to listen, to whom to listen, to make those adjustments on the fly so that we can adjust to the lowest octave or principal player or whatever it is that we're hearing.
I think we heard you address that yesterday too. With
Yeah,
the band.
you could walk in any room that I've been
Yeah.
in, you'll hear me
Well,
address that at some
It's,
point in time.
I wasn't trying to point out that you were being repetitive. No, it's and I think you also talked about how it's easier to listen back than it is forward. Yes,
Absolutely.
which I hadn't heard quite that fine a point put on it, but I thought that was great.
Yeah, well, of course, you're a tuba player.
Yeah, well,
In the back of the classroom.
I'm just
all the time.
encouraging this behavior in others. Yeah.
One thing I tried to do, sometimes when I was teaching, right or wrong, was to listen, and set the pitch at the tubas. I would actually sometimes
Sure.
let the tubas blow the tuning note.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that ever.
They're doing
really
that
worked or
in
not.
there, yeah, and I
was
think that's a
trying.
good thing. Yeah, professional organizations, of course, used to having the oboe provide the pitch or something like that, which gets people listening in a certain direction. But I think you need to, I think doing the low octave thing with the tuba, if that person is really sound and you can trust them, that's a really good thing to do. But I think changing it up is also a really good thing to do. And tuning to an A sometimes, and tuning to a B flat sometimes, and tuning to an F sometimes. So it's not all just one mentality, but it just gets people to listen a little bit more carefully.
It's easy to go on autopilot too if it's the exact same thing all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you got them to finally, to get them to kind of come out of their shell and start answering some questions at the beginning too.
They were a little
which was
timid,
good. And but it kind of goes back to something else we addressed yesterday. How it's almost like they're conditioned sometimes to wonder what's the right answer just to give, rather than just give an answer and let's see where it goes. So,
Yeah. You got to be able to fail, like we were talking about yesterday, and
So-
be okay with that.
Yeah.
What's our next then going back in?
We're gonna, I think, hit a little bit more of the Mackie. Man, there's a lot of great stuff that we can focus in on there. And then there's this Jess Turner piece that they're working on that he hasn't. I think it's more in the elementary stages. He's not quite ready for prime time on that one. But we're gonna take a listen to that one and see where they are and just address what needs to be addressed to
Sounds terrific.
get
Great.
the ball rolling. Great.
All right, let's get you back in working.
Terrific. Thanks,
All right.
gentlemen.
Thank you, Rob.
You bet.
Thanks, Rob.
You bet. Cool. Did I leave my? Yeah. What did I do with my baton? There it is. Where were you guys?
We're about
I.
K.
Hey, trombones. While we're here, that's a tough little two measure. Bow. And the idea is that it needs to sound like one long gliss throughout the two measures. Can I just hear you guys do that? 1, 2, and. Yeah. So don't lose time, and make sure that you don't hang on to the initial note too long. So it's an immediate gliss. You instigate the note, and then you start falling. Here we go. 1, 2, go. Yeah, it's getting there a little bit late at the bottom. So right from the very top, you can start the gliss earlier. Again. 1, 2, and. That's the idea. Yeah. Good. Cool. Now, trumpets. You guys, I think when I'm up here, you're playing timidly. When I walked in the back door, it was like a different trumpet section. Can I hear this? This big, loud stuff. Let's pick it up at I. I. Good. Yep. Careful. Can we just do this crazy gliss measure? Ra, 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 ra. Woodwinds. And the brass that have it also. This is the fourth measure after I. 1, 2, ready, and. Yeah, careful that we don't go too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ra, 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 ra. Some of you are getting through the measure a little too quickly. All right, ready, and. Take you a little bit more time. Ready, go. That's the idea. And can you guys get even more crazy with this? Okay, here we go. Again. All righty, and. Yeah, still take more time. Don't go too fast. That's good crazy, though. All righty, and. Yeah, good, 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 good. I, everybody's in. I. Good. Percussion. Woo! Ouch! Easy back there. You hurt me a little bit. Yeah, just a smidge. Yeah. Every dynamic is relative to the ensemble in which you're playing. Woodwinds. How's the intonation at J? Let's give it a whirl. Here we go. J, melody. 1, 2, and. Great. Now, of all those notes, which ones are the ones in need of the most attention? Which one?
My high not in the score. There's no. I can't find clarinet 3 in that score.
You are special.
We already did that.
Yeah. So it starts off really, really, really good. Can we do that again? And I'm going to ask you the same question. Here we go. J, melody, and go. Okay, great. What do you think? Yeah, there aren't measured numbers. After J, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's where the wheels really start to wobble pretty badly in 7 after, and then 8 and 9 are also a little bit problematic. So can we just check those notes? This is the C concerts. The C concert 7 after. Everybody just sustain that note. After J, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars. Ready? Go. What's the lowest octave people can hear? Everybody hear that? Do you have a tuner by any chance? Okay. Sure. Just to double check. It's always good when we're locking into a key point. Make sure that you've got a tuner available just to keep yourselves honest. Unless people have perfect pitch, which I certainly don't, it's a really great tool. Yeah. And you know what? Your colleagues are probably even sharper than you. Let's try that again. Here we go. Everybody on the C. And. Let's do it this way. High or low? Play it again and then stop. Yeah. Bomb. Not that much. Yeah. There it is. Good, 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 good. That's better. Good. Good adjusting. That's great. It's getting there. Everybody together? And. High or low? Yeah, yeah. Tell me your name. Mike? Give that to us again. The C concert. First clarinet. It's real sharp. Yeah. Not too sharp. Better. Together? Or is there anybody else on the top octave, or are you by yourself on that one? Okay, great. Here we go, all the C concerts. 7 bars after again. There you go. Now, pencils in hand, whatever you're doing, arrows pointing in that direction. If you're lipping it down, get an arrow down. If you have to go up a little bit, arrow up, just so you can remind yourselves. Here's the 8th bar after. 8 after. And. Mike? Better? Good. Together? And. Terrific. And then the B naturals? And. So the next measure, the B natural concerts? And. Yikes! Find them. Way better. So whatever you did that time, just again, a little reminder, did I go up or down? Here we go, into context. J. Everybody's in? J. 1, 2, and. Euphonium. Good. Oboes. Yeah, it's tough right there. It's in the lower register, but if you can really get down and blend your sounds in with everybody else, especially when we get the euphoniums in there, it's going to be great. Horns. No, I lied. Trumpets. Second measure of J. Can we just do that bar? 1, 2, and. Yeah, just the growl, just the big crescendo there. 1, 2, and. Yeah, that gesture is mostly about the crescendo. Do it without the growl. Do it without the flutter tongue. 1, 2, and. Yeah, and I want you to really go after beat 3. 1, 2, go. Good. Now, is it, yeah, sforzando piano. One of you is being way more aggressive on the front end than anybody else is. Do you know who you are? Everybody's looking at you. Yeah. So take like 20% off the front edge. Here we go again. 1, 2, and. Great. Now with the flutter tongue. 1, 2, and. Yeah. So that crescendo is just as important as anything else in that measure. Here's J. Same thing happens a couple bars later. J, 1 and 2, and go. So you remember those first two notes that we worked on way near the end of the piece? Bam, bam. They're marked pretty loud at the end, right? And these are marked forte or double forte, right? Didn't sound like that, woodwinds. You don't have your brass partners back there to help you out, but you got to keep going crazy. Here's before M, 4 bars. 4 before M. 1, 2, and. Good. Yeah. Now, because you're doing great. I love the attitude, especially out of what seems to be a pleasant young lady. That's really awesome. The only thing I will say is make sure that you're not completely getting away from zone, bing, bum, 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 bing, bum, bum, bing, bum, bum, ba. It just rushes a little bit. So take a little bit more time. Good. Melody, M, as in Mackie. Here we are. Melody. 1, 2, go. Herein lies part of the problem. Well, I have the melody. No, you don't actually have the melody. Here we go. Melody up here. 1, 2, and. Yeah. I don't want to hear your feet tapping on the floor as loud as I hear people playing. Here we go. And it's got to have the punch. Feel the weight on those downbeats. 1, 2, and. Yeah, it's just a little too nice. Can you be nastier? Okay, cool. Here we go. Let's give it a whirl. 1, 2, and. Yeah, that's good. Can we just play the first note and sustain it, just to make sure we're in the same ballpark? Here we go. Downbeat. What's the lowest octave people can hear? Play it again. Go to that octave. Yeah, what you're doing, that's right on the money. Great ears. Bravo. Everybody, M, Mackie, we're in. M, 1, 2, and. Good. Can you just do that for me right there? Right, I'm going to give you the go sign. Ready? Go. Yeah. Just take a little bit more time. Boom, bat, boom, bum, bum, boom, bat, boom, bum, boom, bat, 4 and 5 have to be in time. All righty? And. That was good. Be careful that you don't change the rhythm in the last bar of it. That's got to flow a little bit more naturally. One more time. All righty. Still want to push on the first bar. Dance, man. You got to dance. Ready? And. Everybody's in. There we go. That was it. That was great. 1, 2, again, and. Yeah, the ending's great. That's going to be a lot of fun. Enjoy working on that. I think we're almost out of time. Is that right? Or we got a couple more minutes?
We are out of time. Need to finish something up?
I kind of went to the end thinking that you were sitting back there waiting for me to finish up. So I kind of finished up.
I just want to hear all the great stuff coming off the podium.
Yeah. This makes no sound. That makes a lot of sound. You guys are doing great. Can you just review for me some of the big takeaways that you learned today?
Put a lot more effort into playing the same, like a same pitch as kind of like don't take anything less than perfect.
Yes. Aim for perfection. Vince Lombardi. Everybody know who Vince Lombardi is? Who is he? Famous football coach. It's not some football coach. He's like maybe the best football coach ever to live. Always said, we're going to aim for perfection, and in our pursuit of perfection, hopefully we will arrive at excellence. Perfection is certainly unattainable, but hopefully we'll arrive at excellence. So always aim for perfection. And not just in intonation, but in everything having to do with your skills as a listener within this ensemble. If you listen really great, it's going to fix a multitude of issues, be it balance, intonation, articulation, so many things, tone quality, all that stuff. So use your ears like crazy. What other takeaways did you guys have this weekend, today? Lowest octave, that's going to be your foundation. What else? Smart young man. Who to listen to, who stays put, who's the rock, and who is the one that defines that other person. That's a really important issue. Any others? One more. The ink is our English language. It's the musical language. Don't come to rehearsal without knowing everything, and see it and do it, and then you make the art happen on top of that. Black and white on the page is a C. That's average. Got to go beyond that. Last thing. Yeah, major chords. Thirds need to come down. How many cents? 13.7. Awesome. Make sure you appreciate this guy. He's working really hard for you. Bravo.